Hi everyone, today I'll show you how to remove distraction in your travel photos or any photos using some simple tools both in Lightroom and in Photoshop for more complex scenes. So let's jump into Lightroom to start with. So I am in Lightroom and I want to show you how to remove distraction from one photo. The goal when cleaning your image is to remove the distraction that are going to prevent your viewer to look at the right direction. So I would say that if some of the stuff in your image are not helping the story of your image, then you can probably remove it. Now, if you do like documentary kind of photography, I think you shouldn't remove anything, but if you are fine with removing distraction to help your viewer eye to go to the right direction, then this tutorial is for you and we are going to see how to do that. So here there is a few things. In my case, I want the eyes to focus on this area here, and you can see that it's pretty dirty on the ground. There are some people on my image here that is not really, those people are not really helping the story of this image, so I think I might remove them. So let's see how we can do this. So to clean your image, you're gonna go on this section here, the remove section, and then we're gonna first start to work with the heal tool. So I'm gonna make the size a little bigger, and I'm going to try and remove those areas here. So what's happening with this tool is that it's taking another part that is closed, another part of the image that is closed, and it's going to sample it and to reconstruct this part that you want to remove. Okay, so usually it works pretty well. So for very small areas, it's actually working pretty well. Okay, so let me come back to my tool. So if you want something very seamless, try to don't brush too much of what is not to be removed. And you can see just like this, it's very easy. And you're gonna see that in few minutes, we removed everything we don't want anymore. So sometimes you can see here it's making a pattern that shouldn't be like this. It's so small that no one is going to notice, to be honest, but if you don't like it, you can use other tools. I'm going to show you that in a minute. So this is how you use the heal tool. So the heal tool is perfect to remove those little spots like this. Now for a bigger spot, like for the people, for example, you now have this remove tool with generative AI that is available. So I am using the remove tool with the box generative AI checked, and then I am going to brush on top of something that I want to remove. Then I'm going to get a red overlay. If it's fine for me, if it's the selection I want to remove, I'm gonna click apply. And then I wait for Lightroom to generate something. And just like that, I have something generated. I have 3 different variations, so I can just choose which one I like the best. In my case, I think I prefer the 3rd one. And then I can just keep removing my people like this, with generative AI included in Lightroom. Okay, it's doing a great job so far. Okay, now I only have to remove those 2 persons here. I'm gonna make my brush bigger. Great job. Now that girl here, and then we're gonna do some little spot to perfect our photo. So this spot here that I don't really like, and this shadow here. And then I can choose to go back to the remove tool and to perfect some area. So here, for example, I might want to remove some more spots. And then I see my whole image, and let's check the before and after, before and after. And just like that, I have removed most of the distraction. So here we can see that it's not perfect in this area, but honestly now to be able to remove complex things with Lightroom is really amazing. If you hate Photoshop or if you don't have Photoshop, that's amazing to be able to go that far with Lightroom. Let's jump into Photoshop, and I'm going to show you what tools you can use in Photoshop to clean your images just like this, and ever slightly better maybe. Now, if you are in Photoshop, the way to clean your image is this way. You are going to create a new layer. So here's my photo. I don't want to clean directly on my photo, otherwise if I do a mistake, I'm gonna have to click Command Z or just start again from 0. So create a new layer, click plus here, layer 1, call it cleaning. And then with G on my keyboard, or here with the spot healing brush tool, this is exactly like in Photoshop. I just have to brush over the thing I want to remove, and it's going to do this automatically for me. So it's very easy to do. It's a bit like in Lightroom. So yeah, if you did that already in Lightroom, you don't have to redo it inside of Photoshop. But if you prefer to do the work inside of Photoshop like I personally do, and I personally prefer this way, but that's also a question of habit. So this is pretty much the same, I would say, between Lightroom and Photoshop. So just choose the tool you prefer for that. Okay. Now here in Photoshop, you also have the remove tool, which is an AI tool for more complex objects. It can work better. So here I'm going to remove this bird, and you can see it's gone in a few seconds. Let me see if I can remove with this tool this person here. So sometimes it works well, but sometimes it creates weird texture. Okay, so it works okay, but we can see that it's creating weird stairs. So if you are from far away and no one is zooming in, it could be okay, but if you want to be precise, I would not recommend to keep that, okay? So while the remove tool can be interesting for more complex spot to remove, for very easy spot, I would recommend to use the spot healing brush tool, because this is much faster. You can see you are just brushing and it's gone in a second, while with the remove tool it's going to take a little while to process. So, you know, for spot like this, there is no reason to use the remove tool, and here it made actually something a little weird. Okay, that was the shadow actually. So let me remove the shadows of this bird. Okay, that's a bit less weird. Okay, so yeah, I would recommend to use a spot healing brush tool and a remove tool for scenes like this. Okay, now I am going to show you how to remove the people and more complex objects in your scene. So in our case, we have some people here climbing the stairs, and we want to remove them because they are not helping the story of our image. So I am taking the lasso tool to make a selection. So you need to make a selection of the thing you want to remove. And then I have this window with generative fill, and I just click on it. If you want something very specific here, you can describe what you want. But if it's not something specific, you just want Photoshop to sample what's around your selection, then you click generate. and it's going to generate something for us. And as you can see, it's really good. There is 3 different options, so choose the option you like the best. In my opinion, I think I like the 3rd one best. And we are going to do the same with all the people, okay? So let's go. So I am kind of glad that it happened. As you can see, generative fill did something kind of weird here on the stairs. It didn't really remove the person. I actually did remove the person, but with some stuff that we didn't want. I didn't find a solution to make it work, so I used the stem tool to be able to remove that person. As you can see, because the texture and everything that is around this person is quite easy to sample, that's very easy to remove that person. So you just need a bit of patience, but with the stem tool you are able to remove that person. So I really recommend to learn how to use the normal tools in Photoshop without using any artificial intelligence, because sometimes it doesn't work, or even if you don't have internet, you sometimes cannot use some of those tools. So I really recommend to use those tools, simple tools like the spotting brush tool or the stem tool, like I'm doing it here. Okay, so sometimes with generative AI there are things appearing that you don't necessarily want. So here, for example, those parts here, I don't want that. So I created a new layer, and with the spotting brush tool, I'm going to remove and see. Okay, it's not bad. I'm going to use the remove tool for this part here, and maybe extend to here. Okay, and it's removing the parts I didn't want. And just like this. So with a combination of different tools, so the remove tool, the spotting brush tool, the generative fill, and the stem tool, I've been able to really clean my image. So my eyes focus more on this part of the image. So you can see this is before and this is after, before and after. And that's what I like with Photoshop, is that there are so many tools that you can use to really clean your image perfectly. Well, in Lightroom, you will be able to do the basics, but if that doesn't work, you're gonna have to jump into Photoshop anyway. So I am very used to work with Photoshop, so I like to do the cleaning from the beginning in Photoshop. Now, if you are more used to Lightroom, start your cleaning in Lightroom, and if there are things that you are struggling to remove, then jump in Photoshop and use generative fill, use the stem tool, use the remove tool. But yeah, my recommendation is to really learn to use those tools, so you can then decide which tool you prefer to be able to remove the distraction in your image. And here you can see now I have cleaned my image and I can edit my photo without all this distraction in the photo, and I can really focus on the buildings and the Christmas tree here. I hope you like this video. If it's the case, please push the like button and maybe write a little comment. It helps a lot to grow my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.